Hi everybody, so today we're going to have a little look at context. Now we did this last year, so hopefully we can just do a quick overview and then move on and do some work. So what is context? Context refers to the circumstances that surround a text at the time it was created, and it also refers to the circumstances occurring around the time a story was set. Now it's really important to note the difference. Now if we use The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas as an example, we've got a story or a book that was written in 2006 by John Boyne, and then it was turned into a film in 2008. Now this is when those texts were created, but they're very different to the time in which the story is actually set, which is World War II, and if anyone knows, 1939 to 1945. Alright, so the two very different sort of time periods, and these contexts are what make up the story. So in 2006 and 2008, something might have happened to make John Boyne want to write a story about the Holocaust and World War II, which was very different to in World War II when it was actually happening. And we've got a lot of different factors that make up the context of World War II. Now, some of those factors, if you'll remember, that can make up the context or the setting behind a story are the political factors behind a story. We've also got the historical factors. So what was happening at the time that the story was written and what was happening at the time that the story was set. We've got personal factors. So what was it that was happening in the author or composer's life at the time that they created that text that made them want to make it. We've got economic factors. So what was going on in the economy at the time that made people want to write that book, and what was happening that made the characters act the way they did. We've got geographical context or geographic context. So depending on where the story is set, it's going to be a very different story. So a story, say, about World War II that's set in Australia is going to be very different to a story of World War II that's set, say, in Germany. Alright, so the context of where it's set can be a big factor. And then we've also got cultural factors. Alright, now there are plenty of others such as religious beliefs and moral beliefs, so I'm going to put those under cultural beliefs because it kind of makes it easier. Now if we look again at The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, we've got lots of different contexts here. Now in terms of the political context, we know it was in Nazi Germany. Historical context is World War II. The personal context of the author, I'm not sure what that was. It would be interesting to find out, but there was a reason that he wrote it. And we've also got, in terms of personal contexts, what's going on with the characters. Excuse my writing. So if you know anything about the story, if you've read it before, what was happening with those two boys that made their lives different? Now I've just wiped that clean and I want you guys to think about what the rest of those factors could be. So these three factors here, one of them I've already told you. We're going to think together about what the background is behind those three factors that help to create this book. Now, whose context counts? Now, if we were looking at The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, or if we're looking at any story, any film, any book, there are lots of different contexts that count, but the three main ones are those of the composer. Alright, so the person who wrote it, what's their context? What's their background at the time of writing? Of the characters. So what's going on in the story that makes the story the way it is, and what's happening with those characters? And finally, of the responder. So that's us. So you can call us as well, the audience. If it's a book, you can call us a reader. So what's going on with what do we bring to the table as well? What is our context that allows us to understand what's going on in that text? Okay, so we're going to do some more work on this and we're going to have a little bit more of a chat about it in class, but I will see you later. Bye.